Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Hambone here, and in today's video we're going to be exploring some of the new features of the Mist in the upcoming Nightfall update for Albion Online. This is the content patch, of course. It's not a major update, but there is a lot of features that are going to be added, such as we're about to go find these caches that are come in the mob camp. So if you open up your map here, these little camps that show up in the Mist, right? You know, everybody knows what they are. You just clear them out, and they're new for, like, everybody gets their own camp here. And so you see there, we cleared out the objective, and we can go up here and loot the cache. So once you've cleared the camp, you get a cache. Looks like it's a bunch more fame. That's 80,000 fame. So I'm not really sure exactly if that's a reward every time if you just get fame tomes, or if that's just a placeholder. But we're going to go clear out this other small heretic camp and see if we can get something else from the cache. But this is on the test server, so keep in mind this is all subject to change. I just wanted to showcase this. We're going to go loot the other cache, and then we're going to try and track down there's a turbulent mist. We're going to try and track down a dungeon and see what the Mist dungeons are all about. We're going to talk about the other features of the update as well. Alright, so we've mostly cleared out this zone. One more mob and we'll have it. And this is a small cache. So that was a medium cache in the other camp. This is a common small. So we're going to see what we get from it. It looks like it's probably going to be more fame books if I was guessing. I don't know if they're going to change that. Oh, that's a loot from the guy. I don't know if they're going to change that and if there's going to be something besides fame tomes. Oh, yeah, look at here. So this one has 30,000 fame. What are those? 10,000 each, I think. So not too bad there, really. I mean, you can see where clearing these camps would be very useful. See, yeah, 30,000. So now what we're going to do is, you can see where clearing these camps would be very useful for, you know, getting some extra rewards, you know, because you already get a lot of fame clearing these camps out. You know, if you just roam from zone to zone, camp to camp, you get a lot of fame. Here we go. Here's a treasure coffer. So this will be one of the other features of the update that we can go ahead and explore. But you get a lot of fame from those already. So having a silver reward, that's kind of a guarantee because, you know, everybody, these are instants for everybody. So everybody's heretic camp, you know, thing is their own thing. So having that be like it is, where you can get your reward from it, that's going to be a very useful thing. So these are the treasure coffers. These are the randomized hidden treasures. So, not too much of stuff. Again, some fame and a little bit of silver. But, of course, these rewards might change. But, I mean, if you're already in the Mist playing all the time anyways, this is just going to be a bonus. You know, I fame farm in the Mist. That's where I do all of my fame farming. So, having the ability to have all this ways to make a little bit of silver is going to be very, very welcome change. Because right now, the best way to make silver in the Mist is to slap on some 8.3 gear or whatever and go and kick the crap out of noobs that are trying to fame farm. That's just the way that you make money in the Mist right now, you know, PvP. So having some ways to make money in the Mist that isn't going to be, that they're not PvP, but they're going to encourage PvP, is going to be something that's very worthwhile. So what we're going to do is keep exploring Mist. I'm in an epic tier 7 Mist right now, by the way, for reference. But we're going to keep exploring until we find a dungeon. So I'll be back once we find one of the Mist dungeons, and we're going to clear it and see what we get for that. The night keep dungeons, I forget exactly what they're called. I'll put it on the screen, but it's the night something other dungeon. So stay tuned and we'll find one of those. Alright, we found one. I'm going to go ahead and go in because they're super limited. You see they show up on the map for a second and then they're gone. They're only up for like 20 seconds. I missed the first one that I found. So this is the second Nightfall Abbey I found. Finally got to go into it. So we're going to clear this dungeon and see what it's all about. Oh my. What is this place? That takes you to the Mist. So this is like a static dungeon almost, it would appear. You guys are getting the first look at this right with me. I don't really know what the deal is. Okay, these are tier 6 mobs. I'm not too worried about fighting them. Shouldn't be a problem with this nature build I've got going on. Really should be easy. Yeah. Looks like there's a, I'm not sure what that is. Actually, so this is totally different content from everything else in the game. Of course, we do have a dev talk coming on this, so we will see eventually what it's about. Blessing of Justice. Increases my move speed. Okay, so it looks like there's just all these individual rooms that we can clear in this Nightfall Abbey, and I think all of these go back to the Mist. Oh, so it takes you to a random mist. Okay, so that makes more sense. So all the exits now of the Nightfall Abbey take you to a random mist. So this is like a static area almost, it would appear. And I wonder how many of these there are. Like, are you going to run into a bunch of people in this? Or, you know, how's that going to work? Curious to see. Let's see what we get from this knight statue. I don't know. What do we get? Increases your move speed. Okay, so you get a night blessing from all of these. We're going to explore some more of this and see what we can come up with. Oh, wow, look at this. Big staircase. This is the coolest, probably the coolest dungeon I've seen in Albion in a long, long time. Really like the aesthetic in here. Really super cool. There's 2 of these, and they're red this time. So we're going to see what goes on here. I'm probably not going to clear this whole thing. I'm just going to clear most of it on this just to sort of see what we get. And decent fame and decent silver drops from these mobs. About like the regular mist mobs almost. We'll see. We'll pay extra close attention this time and see exactly how much we get. 3,200, 3,200, 3,000. Actually, this fame in here is probably better than the regular mist, which makes sense. Alright, let's see. We gotta clear these guys. I'm unsure as to what's going to happen once I get both of these little things here. This is a super cool area, though. I really like this. So this is a huge static, too. Eventually, there's got to be a chest in here somewhere, right? Like, I know that there's a boss or a chest or something. And I'm really digging the music in here, too. I don't know if you can hear it very well. Let me crank up the volume just a little bit so you can get a... Oh, hang on. Really, really cool music. Very, very cool aesthetic. I very much like this place. I think there's going to be a lot of fighting going on in here. Blessing of Compassion. Gives me healing. What's this one do? Activates when your health drops below 40%. Heal yourself immediately. So this area is going to be like a buff. A lot of buffs going on in this area. That's really cool. And I think Mogdun actually was talking about a dungeon area like this where, you know, maybe you get a buff, and the longer you go, the bigger buff you've got. So it's actually pretty cool that that's what this is. It seems like this is sort of like a raid, like a single player raid type content. Like a very long dungeon. You know, you're going to spend a while in here clearing all these rooms. And there's another buff. I wonder if... I haven't seen anything that debuffed us yet. So, we'll have to see how that works. But overall, I like this place. This is going to lead to some crazy fights. And you're going to probably just randomly show up in one of these areas in here. Random, you know, at random whenever you show up in here. It's going to be really nice to see. Lots of fame tomes being dropped. I mean, I'm at 200k, but that's also with the loot from those 2 camps that we did earlier. So I can see, you know, people coming here to fight each other. But, you know, these are rare. I mean, I've been looking for 45 minutes, I guess, through 2 different mist zones. I entered this one from a common mist zone, by the way. Not the tier 7 epic zone that we were in. This one came from a common zone. So they're pretty rare. They're hard to find. It took me almost a half hour to find this one. But, what is this? Same thing. Activates when your health drops below 40%. Wait a minute. Do you only get one of these at a time? No. So every time you go through one of these and use one of these, you get your buff increases here. Damage versus players and defense versus players. So the more of this that you clear, the stronger that you're going to get in this area for this time frame. That's pretty wild. I really wonder, though, is there a boss somewhere in here that we can find? Looks like another buff shrine. Another buff shrine. So I think this is just an area full of buffs. So if you just hang out in here for like an hour and stack these buffs, there's a chance you might get like a 10% or something crazy like that damage buff. I don't know how far it goes. You know, I'm going to hang out in here for a long time, grind up this damage buff and see, and then I'll come back whenever we get some more ideas, you know, of this. Let's see. Same thing. Blessing of Valor. Stack another buff. We have 6 of those. It doesn't look like they stack past 2%, so I'm not really sure why it says 6. I know, I guess we've collected 6 of those. I'm not really sure why it keeps stacking even though we haven't gotten anything. And there's a small treasure chest. So it looks like what's going to happen is there's going to be just chest spawns in here. And I'm going to go ahead and swap to Wanderlust because we need to be able to move a little bit quicker. Can I use my mount in this area? Nope. So there's another buff area. Looks like it would be offering the same buff. But we're going to go ahead and pass all this up and go see what this treasure chest area is all about. I think it's just going to be a random chest. We'll see. Alright, here we go. Let's cruise over there. Oh, I need to try out the map transparency too while I'm here. I'll just have to go in the settings in a minute. Ooh, hang on. We got a boss. Alright, know what we're doing now. Just hope I don't need the healing from my soldier boots. Oh, this is different. This is a cool looking boss. Looks like he's going to have some unique mechanics. Very nice. I had thought there had to be a boss in here somewhere, but it doesn't look like there's any way to tell where he is. You're just going to have to figure it out. You turd. Got my extra damage taken away because he hit me. Or interrupted our, I did not mean to hit my merc jacket. It's okay, though. He interrupted our E. So, my extra little bit of damage there, and the healing got interrupted the last time. There we go. Not a super hard boss fight. You know, if you're using this build that I took with me, it was particularly strong at clearing PvE, which is why I'm using it. So if you're using a PvP build, this might be a challenge. He had, what, 10k health? Did quite a bit of damage. I didn't even look how much fame I got. Let's see what we get in this chest. 56k, not too bad, really. I mean, you know, if you spend a couple hours here in the mist or whatever, just cruising around, it's a nice little way to get a bonus fame, some bonus silver while you're fame farming. And, I mean, these Nightfall dungeons are just a cool area. I really like them. But we're going to cruise over here to this random chest, and then we're going to probably close out the video. This has just been a really unique area. Why did Wanderlust not last very long? I get purged? I must have gotten purged by one of these enemies. Another buff shrine. So far, we've only found one boss room, which I'm sure there's many more. You just got to find them. So these are like a static, if you will, of the mist, but they're a little different than a normal static. Very cool. I really do. Cannot say enough how much I like this. Really cool area. We're going to cruise over here and grab this chest, and then... never mind, we got 2 minutes, so we're going to wait for the 2 minutes. I guess what we could do, though, is go into the settings and see where the setting for the map is. Map transparency, travel mode transparency. Let's crank that up to like 75%. See what we can get. Okay. How do I enter into travel mode? I'll be right back when I figure this out. Alright, so we got travel mode figured out. If you hit shift in, it pulls up the map, and you can see 75% is still a little dark, and that's actually, if you go less, that's where it lightens up a little bit. So this is a really nice thing. Okay, we just lost one of our blessings of valor. Really nice little thing, and you can still pull up the normal map. So shift in does the travel mode, regular in does the normal map. Now, let's talk about movement. I'm moving around here with, I just did YGHJ, so that way I keep my key bindings over here. But the movement thing is going to take some getting used to. We're going to try some combat with it and see if we like it here in a second. Let's just see what we get from this chest. So just standard small treasure chest stuff. Overall, we're out of space. Overall, not too bad. I mean, we've been in the mist for like an hour. We got 300k. Not too bad. And you get more, obviously, if you're fighting with people. So there is that to keep in mind. Let's see if we can move and aim. I'm bound that way too far away. So yes, moving and aiming is something that you can do with the new controls. So it's going to be take some getting used to. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me focus here. Wow. All right, well, that room was wild. I was trying to move around too much with my YGHJ, which is the farthest thing. You know, you're going to want to use WASD and just rebind your ability keys here. And oh, this is interesting. So it actually closes just like a normal mist. So you can't just hang out in here forever. You stacking up the buffs, it seems. You know, it's going to close just like a normal mist. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit one of these doorways. What is this? Is that a coffer? Yes. Oh, look, there's a will-o-wisp, so we can go through that if we want to and hit another mist, or we can hit one of these doorways. We're going to go ahead and grab this treasure coffer. So there's lots of opportunities for loot in this area. And, yeah, these are going to be very useful for grinding fame and for gaining money. Overall, I'm super, super thrilled about this update. Looks really awesome. I'm very excited to see where they take all this stuff. And we're going to go ahead and hit another mist zone. Where's this doorway? I'd like to try and go through a doorway because that's going to be kind of the way that you navigate a lot of times. Here we go. Alright, so those are your doorways. So we're going to go ahead and hit that and see what happens. Oh, come on. Give me some heals. Overall, though, this is such a cool update. There's a lot more stuff that I'll cover in another video. How does it work? Exit to the mist. It won't let me go. Do I have to clear out all the mobs in this area, maybe? Let's see if that works. Alright, that opened up, but I want to know, does this exit open? No. So it looks like we can't go out here for some reason. I'm not really sure what the deal is with that. Maybe I have to get this first. But we can't exit there. So we're going to have to exit through one of these wisps that we found back here if they're still around. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to subscribe for more content on Albion Online coming soon. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this update. I'm super excited. I think it's going to be a great update. And I'll see you in the next video where we talk more about update stuff, no doubt. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.